Hey everybody, what's up, and welcome to another Sims 4 house building video. In today's video, I am very excited for this build. This is something quite different for me. It's something that I don't often do, but this is a house that is very much inspired by real life houses. And this is an Irish farmhouse, cottage kind of house. And the reason I wanted to build this, to be honest, I've been feeling a little bit homesick recently. I'm from Ireland, but I live in the UK. And I haven't been home to Ireland in a number of months, not since Christmas. And I've just been feeling a little bit homesick, to be honest. And while I was trying to think of what I want to build in The Sims, I was like, I've never tried to build any kind of Irish house. And initially my mind went to like a typical Irish housing estate and like try to build something like that. And then I was thinking like, what's a famous Irish building I could do? And there was just kind of nothing that was really sticking out to me, so I just decided to go back to basics and I decided to build an Irish cottage farmhouse. And I decided to do this because these are the types of houses that are around where I live in Ireland, like where I come from, where my family are from. And I just wanted to do something that would just kind of like give me an excuse to look at some Irish photos and, you know, think about home. That sounds so cringe, but like I've just been homesick and I just wanted to do this, and I think it turned out really cute. I wasn't expecting it to be as easy as it was, because I often find that building older things in The Sims is quite difficult because everything in The Sims is so clean. Like everything just has like a plain white, almost plastic look to it. Like all the windows look plastic and all the doors look kind of plastic and flat, and it's harder to make older buildings look real. But I'm actually surprised to say that I think that this one turns out pretty nice. I definitely wasn't expecting it, but like I was saying, this is very much an older style Irish cottage farmhouse, whatever you want to call it. I don't really know if it's a cottage. It's definitely a farmhouse, but because I put a thatched roof on it, in my head it's kind of a cottage, and it really reminds me of a house that is actually down the road from my family home, and it is very much a cottage, but this is just kind of a bigger version of that house. And I don't know, I really enjoyed this. It's very different for me. It's like nothing else I've ever done on my channel, just purely my own creation kind of. And I did get a couple of photos just for like reference point of like how to do this like little fenced in or like walled in farm area out the front. This is something that's quite typical of older houses in Ireland. They use all of the land around the house to create like farmland. And so as you can see here at the front, there is very much like a closed in farm area, if that makes sense. Like that would be full of sheep, or like have like 6 sheep in it. And then out the back, there would be more farmland. And then a couple of fields away, it'll be also their farmland, and there'll be cows and horses or whatever. And I don't know, I really had fun with this. It's very different for me, like I was saying, but I just think it was cute. I don't know, I just really had fun with it. I was able to use a lot of objects from packs like the Horse Ranch pack and the Cottage Living pack, and even though Horse Ranch is very American themed and Cottage Living is very British, there was a lot of things I was able to bring into this because Ireland is kind of its own thing, but there's a lot of like English influence obviously because of history. But yeah, I was able to use a lot of those objects. Same with Get Together. I was able to use some of the doors and windows and things from Get Together to give that kind of older aesthetic. I toyed with the idea of putting a modern extension on the back of this house to like really update and bring this house into modern day, because a lot of older Irish farmhouses, that people tend to do that. They tend to buy them and renovate them to look new. But honestly, while I was building this, I was watching TikToks and this sound came up like in a video where people were like, please stop buying old houses and modernizing them. And I was like, do you know what? I'm not going to modernize my Sims build because I agree. It's really stupid, but I was like, no, this should just be a typical old Irish farmhouse. And I'm really happy with how it came out. I'm really glad that I didn't make it a big modern mess, because as much as I love modern architecture, I think there's something very beautiful about very traditional houses too. Especially, might be a bit biased here, but Irish houses are just so cute, and there's nothing really like them in the rest of the world, not in the same way. Also, something I'm doing here, I kind of created this like mini laneway, because in my head I was like, we have a tractor in debug. There has to be a tractor item somewhere. I could not find it for the life of me. I looked for it here. I cut out a bunch of this footage. As you can see, it just jumped to Windows. But I was looking for a tractor, and I went through the gallery. I went through all of debug. I went through live edit. Could not find a tractor. Is there a tractor item in this game? I was convinced there was, but I could not find one. So I just ended up putting like a pickup truck or like a flatbed Jeep, just because I wanted to have some kind of a vehicle, because like it's kind of quintessential to farming. You need some kind of a vehicle. People typically have like some kind of a Jeep that they drive through the fields in Ireland, but I really wanted like a little tractor and I just could not find one. I was so annoyed. And I found a really cool one on the gallery that someone made out of like, they made it themselves, like out of existing objects. And I don't even know how your brain does that. Like they put together a bunch of debug and like base game items and created a base game friendly tractor. But it was like a room. It was, I don't know, I can't explain it, but I'm sure you've seen things like it. Like I've seen people make like custom cars and like custom pieces of furniture and things. People can be so creative with The Sims. My brain doesn't work that way. And I didn't just want to steal someone else's build and just put it in my house. So I didn't, but it was really cool. I should have saved it at the time. I don't know why I didn't, because it was just so cool. So cool. But anyway, as you can see, we've moved inside. I'm definitely going for a very old school traditional kind of look in here. This is kind of inspired by my granddad's house. My granddad lived in, it wasn't really a farmhouse, it was like a smaller house on like my aunt's home property, but his house was like kind of separated. He had like his own little driveway and it like went up the back of the property or whatever, but he had like a very traditional little house and it was kind of on farmland, but he wasn't really a farmer. But that was just kind of the vibe I was going with here. Just a cute little cottage vibe inside. Very non-specific. Like this isn't very specific to Ireland, this style of house or whatever. And I just went with very neutral colors, like wooden cabinets, fairly simple, like beiges. I think I end up making the wall kind of a cream color. And this house is very cramped. I wanted it to feel quite small. So like against the wall behind the island, I end up putting like a big hutch just to kind of close off that space a little bit more, because I wanted it to feel kind of cramped, because Irish houses do tend to feel a little bit small. This style of house, obviously not all of them, but this style of house, I just wanted it to feel a little bit more closed in. And I think it gives kind of a very cozy feeling. And adding things like this, like the beams running along the ceiling, I don't know. I was just really happy with it. I think it turned out so cute. And it was just very nice to build something like this. It's so different for me. I honestly just made up the vast majority of it based on my own memory and my own experience of being in houses like this. So it's very vaguely Irish. I think the outside looks pretty quintessentially Irish farmhouse, but inside is just kind of my own amalgamation of different houses that I've been in over the years and things that I've seen. And I included little things like a couple of violins, because the Irish fiddle is like the quintessential Irish musical instrument, and I just wanted little hints like that, and like the wood burning stove in the dining room, things like that just make it very Irish, and like family pictures all over the walls. And you know, I really leaned into that aspect, but I don't think there's anything that's particularly like, there's nothing to say that this interior couldn't be an English house, or do you know what I mean? Very vaguely Irish. But I don't know, I just thought it was really fun. I really liked it, and I liked the floor plan. I don't think the floor plan is entirely accurate. It's not very common that the kitchen and dining room would be towards the front of the house. Usually in the houses I've been in, the kitchen in Irish houses is at the back of the house, and it's just the way it worked out with this. I just kind of split it down the middle. Kitchen and dining room to the left of the house, living room to the right, and then bedrooms upstairs kind of split the same way. There was no particular reason why I did that or didn't do it another way. It was just kind of what I did in the moment, and I was just having fun, so I wasn't really thinking about it. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you've been in an Irish house before, does this feel Irish to you? If you're English watching this, is this very English to you? I don't know. If you're from somewhere else in the world that I'm not familiar with that style of house, let me know if this is also, like, if these features are common in your country's style of building. I don't know. I'm very curious about things like this. I think it's something that I want to explore a bit more on this channel, is just like different cultural styles. Because again, I was just kind of doing this as like a means of switching off. To be honest, I was planning on doing this just in my own free time, just building this just because I wanted to. And then I was like, no, I should record this because why not? I don't know. I just think it's fun to share different types of architecture. Like, I love watching videos of people building houses from, I remember watching one that was a typical Egyptian house, I believe. And this was a couple of years ago, but I remember it was one of my favorite builds on YouTube at the time. I don't even know who built it. I can't remember. I don't think it was anyone that I was subscribed to. I think it was just one that I found and I just really liked the build. But I don't know, I'm curious. Do you guys want to see more videos like this? Like where I just pick like a different country and I try to build a house from that country based on what I can find out about it? I don't know. I'm really, I don't know. If you watched my last video where I built a house in Newcrest, I think I'm just kind of on a buzz of trying to start a new series on this channel, like building Newcrest or building apparently Irish houses or houses from different countries around the world. I don't know. If you guys want to see something like this, let me know. I'm always looking for inspiration on things like this. I always want to know if this is something you guys are interested in. And I want to hear your feedback on this one in particular, because, you know, when I'm building a house on my own, in my own free time, I'm kind of just building what I want and what I want it to look like. So again, if you think this is wholly inaccurate or you think that this is the least Irish thing you've ever seen, let me know. I'm open to feedback, I'm open to suggestions, but like I said, this is just kind of building what I already knew to be Irish houses. And I know that that's a very broad term, but it's just, it is what it is. I don't know. I had fun with this one. I think it's super cute. I was really happy to actually be able to do something like this because, like I was saying, I was just feeling a little bit homesick and a bit of that longing for Ireland. So it was just kind of nice to just switch off and just think about Irish houses like this. I don't know. I had fun. This was something that I really liked that I did. Obviously, you just saw me build the entire like living room and main bedroom while I was just talking nonsense. But this little room with the 2 single beds, it really reminds me of my granddad's house. And I don't know why, I just think it's so cute. Just with the 2 little single beds and like the toy chest and the wardrobe and things like that. It just reminds me of the bedroom that I would sleep in as a kid. I'd be in one bed, my brother would be in the other. And my sister would be down the hall in like this kind of room where she had like the whole double bed to herself, and I was always so jealous. It just made the most sense at the time, but I don't know, it just made me very nostalgic building this. And I don't know, I really hope you guys like this one. I hope that this kind of gives you an idea of what Irish houses tend to be like. Not all of them obviously, but this is a very specific type of Irish house. Actually, sorry, just while I'm on it, this little fence that I'm doing here with that massive gate, I really wish there was more single tile gates that were tall enough for this fence, because I love this fence. I think it's so versatile for builds like this, but that's the only gate that fits on it, and it really annoyed me while I was building. So a little side tangent just to give out about The Sims. It wouldn't be a JaxxxTV video if I didn't give out about The Sims a little bit, but anyway, with that being said, that kind of brings us towards the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's something a bit different for me. If you did like it, remember to leave a like, a comment of what you thought, and subscribe if you want to see more. And hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you're watching this from. Let me know where you're watching this from. Let me know if you want to see me try to build a house from your country. I don't know. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing day and bye-bye. I still don't know how to end these. I'm sorry.